Yeah.
I gotta play Fallout New Vegas as my next video game. Like that'll be my entertainment once I get going. I bought it. It was like $13.
Whoa!
It has good DLC.
Relax.
It has good.
I'm bragging about a deal. Like,
Taylor, people can't relate to you when you flex like that, okay? I know you're on this big podcast, but Jesus, keep your $13 expenses to yourself.
I didn't spring for all the DLCs.
I think there might be 5.
I don't even think there are. No, I got whatever has. They only sell it as like a bundle now. It's so old.
That's good.
But I literally turned it on and just got through the part where like you talk to the guy in the beginning who's like, oh, you took some damage from those guys. Mm-hmm. I'm a doctor, so I need to ask you questions about your personality. and then you like fill out your special score and everything. And that's like literally it. That's all I did. But and then like walked outside to see the world. And it really looks about it's like the graphics are worse than Fallout 4 for sure, but not that much worse.
It's not a huge difference. No, that's Good Springs you're in now. That game has the best story of all the games. The decisions you make matter and they're big deal, and you might want charisma in this one because the end of the game you either need to be a super hardcore motherfucker or have your charisma maxed. It's one or the other. Your speech, I think it is.
All right, well, I have no charisma. I went with 1 because you said not to do it. I went with
I said that for Fallout 4. You're in New Vegas now, so it's a different scenario. Not too late.
Okay, well, I mean, you get it
later on. They're like, hey, is there anything you want to like change about, the basic way you exist as a human being? You're like, yeah, everything. Yeah. All right, well, turn some knobs.
Everything. I need to do that then.
No, I want to be my favorite sniper. By far. Yeah, do it. Fun game.
What was the most fun playthrough you did? Like a gunslinger guy or a sneaky guy?
I never focused on any of that stuff. Like I don't feel like you have to in that game. That's more of a Skyrim thing, or really. I just always tried to like be the good guy and clean up the wasteland was my goal. So I was always trying to get rid of Caesar's Legion and side with the NCR and just kill all of the powder gangers and fiends and drug dealers and just get them out
Caesar's Legion, they're the bad guys. During the intro scene, I was like, man, those guys look pretty cool.
They have actual slaves that you will meet. They are hardcore. They crucify people in mass.
See, I've only seen the outfits.
Yeah, you'll see some crucified bodies pretty soon. That's like the town right next to yours, crucified.
The town right next to Good Times or wherever the fuck I woke up is.
It might be called Prem. I'm not exactly sure, but there's a town nearby. Everybody's crucified. There's one guy out there. He's like, I won the lottery. They made us all draw straws. They let me live. They let me live. And then he like runs off, and I always kill him right then.
Yeah. What kind of life is that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's happy. He's happy that he got to live, but I blow him away anyway.
I'd crucify him in solidarity.
They won't let you crucify. There are no more polls.
This fucking woke culture.
Yeah. Good game though.
Crucify NPCs in Fallout New Vegas because of woke culture.
I think that's true. It's true. Later on,
you'll be able to crucify folks.
There's this one character that you read his journals, and he was like selling children to the fiends, and he was burning them alive and raping and torturing them and stuff like children. Mm-hmm. His name is Cook was the guy that he was selling the children to because he has a flamethrower and he likes to cook children. Nice guy. I think something Driver because he named himself like Nelly Driver or something. He kills people with a fucking driver, fucking golf club. There's a lot of shitheads in that game. It's fun to go through and kill them all because they need it.
That sounds like a fun way to play. Being like a justice bringing, wheel gun shooting cowboy.
Yeah, like pretty much. That's what I try to do. And there's a lot of DLC for that game, so it's a lot of fun. I've spent a lot of time in that stupid Mojave Desert fighting cazadors and exploring vaults. There's one vault where they were using some sort of chemical to like. They wanted to make the whole earth a garden, or maybe it's for agriculture. It doesn't matter. But when they spilled it in their fucking vault or whatever, it's just an overgrown like green jungle as you're going through there. And there are monsters that camouflage themselves so well that you'll be right next to it, and then it'll jump on your face. You're like, "Fuck! It was there the whole time." Like you genuinely can't see them. They're like almost invisible.
I spam VATS, or I did in Fallout 4. Just spam VATS all the time.
I don't think it works on them when they're camouflaged, but it's been a couple years since I've played. Yeah.
I like that it helps you with mines because I was walking into a lot of mines in the beginning when I started Fallout 4. But you're right, that game, like, I lost interest in it, like, just kind of checked out. Like, oh, neat, that's the end of the story. And I don't, like, when I finish a Skyrim or storyline, I'm like, oh, there's like 100 other robust storylines to go do. With this, I was like, oh, I don't care. Like, I saw the big robot do its thing. Like,
this is done. There's twice when you look at the way the speech patterns work, like, you might have 3 or 4 in Fallout 4, but they all do the same thing. You're going to the same place. If you could see, there's a program that lets you do game development, and they have this speech box where it shows how that algorithm works. Like, oh, he says this, you have these 3 options, and everything branches, every possible reply. And in Fallout 4, it's a very narrow branch that leads to the same fucking place. It doesn't matter what you do. In New Vegas, it matters what you do. Your decisions are going to matter a lot, and people are going to treat you differently, and like the game will change based on
that sounds like more
questions
fun.
That you ask.
I did not like in 4 how, like, the continuity of the conversations, like, he'd be talking to Maxie, the head of the Brotherhood or whatever, and he's like, did you say anything about this to the Institute? And you're like, yeah, I talked to my son, who's my dad or whatever. And then it's like, and then he's like, go fuck yourself. How am I to believe you're not a traitor? And then, like, the conversation goes next, and you go, okay. And then he's like, anyway, wonderful job on the last mission. Here's your next task. Make us proud as always, soldier. Chest salute. And it's like, you were just ripping into me, man, and you just forgot all about it. I tried to kill that fucking cunt doctor who's asking for technical documents on the Pridwin or whatever. You can't even give him documents without him giving you guff. I show up and I go, technical documents, and he's like, oh, these are pretty nice. Not as good as they could be. Be sure to check everywhere in the whole world for documents, and I'll give you 20 caps apiece. And I killed him. And then everyone on the Pridwin got so upset about it, so I had to reload a save.
Yeah, it's hard to kill them all. They're in that ship, and they got lasers and stuff. No,
killing the railroad, I enjoyed that.
You killed the railroad. Those are the good guys.
No, I'm pretty sure they were terrorists.
Definitely the good guys.
No, definitely terrorists. I helped the Brotherhood. Helped the Brotherhood win because I was talking to that fucking weirdo with the plants at the Institute where I'm like, well, I might join my son's team. That seems nice. And then I'm talking to that guy and he's like, I can't wait to turn the whole world into robots. We built robot gorillas and living things are inferior. We need robots everywhere. And I'm like,
that's when you change your mind.
Yeah. And then also it's like, I'm like, I've killed hundreds of your robots in my short time here. And he's like, well, the railroad is corrupting them. And it's like, no, I mean, come on. You guys are both culpable here. The only side I'm taking is the side that's like, there's no room for hyper-intelligent robots manipulating human societies, infiltrating them and killing them eventually. And I'm like, yeah, this guy seems cool. And he's got a robot. And he's got the cool flying machine. The robot, if I'm being honest, was the biggest reason because I spent so long building the fucking robot. When it was like,
the robot
join
was cool.
When it was like joining the Institute, I was like, oh, so I just built a robot for nothing if I do this? Yeah. Fuck you. No, I'm marching into battle with the robot. I didn't like how they gave the robot nukes because I was like, God, come on, like, we're already up shit creek here. Like, quit it with the nukes.
Machine gun, maybe?
Yeah, machine gun. I didn't like.
Maybe I wanted laser eyes.
He did do laser eyes. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
When he blew into the Institute area. But yeah, the ending, you're right. It was kind of like, oh, well, that doesn't make sense. Like, this is stupid. Like,
no, Bethesda's a real shitty company. I mean, look no further than Skyrim, right? Like what is it, 10, 12 years? Like they just don't make games, I guess. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah. And they just never fix glitches. Like if you look up, like, I tried to talk to the mayor of Falkreath about the mission to destroy the Assassin's Guild, whatever. And then like you'll find, like, you'll have a problem and you'll look up online and there are Reddit forums from 2011 being like, yeah, really annoying. Can't wait for the patch. And it's like, oh, like 12 years later, like, nope. Y'all Balgriff's still doing his own thing in his back garden half the time. Like not even waiting for your instructions.
Yeah,
I would love to get another game like Skyrim.
if they don't support their game, it's really frustrating. That's one of the things. Like, love them or hate them, those guys at Tarkov are always working on things.